Damien Sandow wins the World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank match, and, I don't think anyone called this one, but well, apparently the booking lines were going mental about this one, but Ambrose and Fandango were already in the ring when the show starts, which is strange, and then the entrance music plays. That's a very strange one. It makes a bit of sense, more sense when Zeb called to cut to one of his promos. His guys are real Americans now, despite the fact that Cesaro isn't American, but whatever. Wade gets no reactions, which is good, which makes me smile, to be honest. The match is as good as you expect. Big bumps with the ladders, especially the muscle buster by Cody, that was good. The usual problems with the Money in the Bank, like I mentioned on my predictions, where you've got two guys in the ring and the rest of the guys are selling on the outside, and it just doesn't look very realistic. The Ambrose skinning the cat with the ladder was a really decent little spot. I mean, it takes two goes to get there, you could say it, but I like that. Big brawl breaks out at the end of the Shield, and the Usos come out, and Ambrose is knocked off the ladder onto them. Cody Rhodes is somehow busted open. I didn't see how, but he climbs the ladder, and then Damien Sandow basically launches him off, gets the briefcase. I don't know how they're going to do this, because right now, because of how, if nothing else, but because of how often he loses, I don't see Damien Sandow as World Championship material whatsoever. I really, really don't. But he's got a year to cash it in, so I'm assuming the push starts essentially tonight on Raw. Then Brad Maddox joins us to waste some pay-per-view time, shows a Vicky package about Video Guerrero, why not? Which was just a waste of time. Then Curtis Axel defeating The Miz to retain the Intercontinental Championship in a nothing real match. I mean, Miz gets Paul Heyman ejected at the start, and you're just like, well, that was stupid, wasn't it? The crowd really don't like that. And by the end of the day, Paul Heyman was the only one who actually had any heat going into this one, so it's just like a match that played out to pretty much silence. I don't like it when I see the Perfect Plex used as just another move either. That bothers me a lot. Figure 4 is reversed, nice spinning neckbreaker DDT thing that Axel used. I don't know what it's called, I'm afraid. Gets the ring. And then AJ Lee defeating Caitlyn in a match to win the Divas title. No storyline to that, no real storytelling to this one like last time. I mean, Cole says that you should win the Divas title the right way. And you're like, last time out went at Payback when AJ Lee won the belt. She won the match clean via submission. How is that not the right way? I mean, I don't get it. I really don't. Caitlyn hits the spear, injures herself doing so. Is wide open to the Black Widow, which gets the win. Didn't really care. Ryback defeated Chris Jericho, and another match that was just, but it was better than I was expecting it to be, but it's still nothing special. The crowd were into it much more than I was expecting as well, which is nice. Shell shot reversal into DDT was good, but what wasn't good was the roll up that got the win. The roll up that Stone Cold did on Owen Hart to win the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam 97, which of course is coming up on my 97th Heaven series soon, was better than this. This just looked awful, because he was holding him by the legs, and it was one of those, you're telling me that at no point during that cover Jericho couldn't get one of his shoulders up? Piss off. Just piss off. And then we got Dolph Ziggler versus ADR. Dolph Ziggler winning by disqualification. Of course, that means that ADR retains the championship. And this was a good match. I enjoyed it. Is it bad that I like the 10 elbow drops? Because it's something that the crowd can get into, but the 10 punches in the corner is just such a dated and cliched thing now. 10 elbows did a bit of difference. X Factor off the top is really good. The inverted suplex is really good. The crowd were into it as well, but there was just no selling or any sort of storytelling like there was in their match at Payback. AJ Lee comes out middle of the match. It looks like ADR's going to use an exposed knee, right? He goes to use it, Dolph manages to block it, and then AJ hits ADR with the Divas title, and he's like, okay, so that's that. Once again, Dolph Ziggler loses. He loses a hell of a lot. Compare Dolph Ziggler to someone like Sheamus, just for argument's sake. We can't compare him to John Cena, because John Cena always wins, and we know that. Sheamus wins all the time, and Dolph Ziggler just doesn't, does he? But anyway, match was, it was a good match. It was still a good match. It's just that it wasn't great, and it didn't have all the aspects that made their match at Payback really good. John Cena defeating Mark Henry in an okay match to win the WWE, to retain the title. So Henry suplexes Cena onto the ring steps at the very start, and then starts to work the ribs. He gets a big swing, rib first, into the barrier. Cena, being Cena, just doesn't bother selling it. Just doesn't bother selling the ribs at all. Why would he? Why would he care? Hits a crap looking side suplex, for example, which anyone else would have sold the ribs. Like, Jesus Christ, that really took it out of me. Cena, nothing at all. Both men's finishes only get 2, with the world's strongest slam near fall being very, very good. Crowd really into that. Cena counters the world's strongest slam a second time, hits into the STF, which just looks awful, and that's what gets the win. And you sat there looking at yourself like, this is their first meeting and you guys winning via submission. Like, no point having a rematch between these two, is there? Absolutely no at all. And wrong result, because I said on prediction Cena's going to win, but I wanted Mark Henry to win this one so badly. And when he caught Cena coming off the top and hits World's Strongest Slam, it's like, it's not. And then in the main event, Randy Orton winning the the WWE. I'm getting so confused today. Winning the WWE title, Money in the Bank match. There's no replacement for Kane, which is an interesting little one. Oh, before the match, a promo for the Wyatt family aired. I was fully expecting the Wyatt family to be involved somewhere on this show, but it turns out they're not. RVD's pop is pretty damn big. It isn't the greatest of things, and to be honest, Rob Van Dam, I know I said on the predictions vid that this was a good environment to put him in, but he didn't do it. Was exactly the same as that same old Rob Van Dam. He didn't do anything that made me go, now that's awesome. He hit the Rolling Thunder and got the big pop. He hit the 5-star frog splash off the top. The only thing that he did that I actually really popped for was the match when the last move of the show, which is where he jumped off and ate an RKO in midair. That was beautiful. I mean, we get the pops with big spots, and we get the usual Money in the Bank things again. And Daniel Bryan climbs up after knocking Sheamus off through a ladder on the outside. Curtis Axel comes out, takes him out. This brings Paul Heyman out after Punk had hit Curtis Axel with a GTS. Heyman encouraging him to climb. I don't know if Punk had a serious neck injury, but he was doing a fantastic sell job as he was climbing up. He was holding his neck here, not the back, on the side, climbing up. And then Paul Heyman whacks him with the ladder 3 times. The third one, I've been told today, splitting his forehead, splitting his head open, which was a nasty little thing. Rob Van Dam climbs up. He eats a really nice looking RKO, and Randy Orton, of all the people in the match, wins out. Tell me we're not going to see Randy Orton versus John Cena feud again, because my God, I don't want to see that. And that was that. This was and both the Money in the Bank matches, you guys probably rated them a lot higher than I did. I rated them 3 and 3.5 stars respectively. And the thing about them is that I bet in a month's time you won't remember them. There'll be just another Money in the Bank match, and that's got to be the problem with weird booking. I think this show as a whole was a big step down from Payback. Payback was a really good show, and I just don't think this one was. The 2 Money in the Bank matches were good, and I thought Dolph Ziggler versus ADR was alright. It could have been a lot better if they'd just done a bit of psychology in there. The rest of the matches were just meh, and mess and more. So for that reason, I'm going to give this show a 5 out of 10. I'm sure you won't agree with that one at all. What did you think? Let me know down below in the comments. I'll be back tomorrow with a Raw review. I've been Mark P. I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys.